The name of our company is Traversaal. We built a product with the name of Olive. It's easier to remember. The name Traversaal, nobody remembers. Most people call us Transversal. So basically, see, the problem you're trying to solve. You go to a store, you go to a restaurant, you go to e-commerce, you see stockouts. Stockouts, and you might think that, oh, it's okay. If this item is not available, I'll buy another item. Can anyone think about what is the impact of stockouts globally? Any number, like what is the impact? Like what is the business impact of losing out a customer on stockout? Anyone? Trillions. So it's a $1.77 trillion problem. Just forecasting. And this is a forecasting at e-commerce level, brick and mortar, restaurants, and we've seen it, we've seen it throughout. E-commerce is the biggest group of people who sort of struggle with that. Manufacturing, retail shrinking. So, why is it that they are not doing a better job? Why is it that these companies are not doing what they're supposed to do? Like, why aren't they building the right forecasting models, that will determine, sort of take care of it? The problem that we have seen is that all we end up having, anyone who's worked on e-commerce company before or brick and mortar, usually what you have is a database with daily sales, right? That's the data we go with. But does that tell the real story at the end of the day? It does not, because you have marketing campaigns going on, you had COVID, you had manufacturing issues, you had supplier issues. That is never captured when you build forecasting models. So what we did is, we built we built a product named Olive. What it does is that it not only takes your CSVs, what it does is that it actually creates a context graph around your data. So it will take your supplier information, it will take your manufacturer information, it can do web search for you, it can take decks for you. It basically creates an architecture understanding on what your data actually means. Like, for instance, 2 weeks ago, sales of an item went down. It's not because customer demand went down, it's because the supplier was not able to supply the items in time. No model right now, no forecasting model can capture that data because that data sits in a separate Excel. So what we have done is that we have built contextual agents that can understand your entire ecosystem. We can connect to Snowflake, we can connect to BigQuery, we can connect to AWS, so that your data is not moved from anywhere. It can connect to any one of them. It can connect to your ERP, it can connect to your CRM systems, you can upload PDFs, you can even put your decks. The reason is simple. Your data that you see as sales data or any demand data is just one side of the story. We need to be able to capture all of this, and that's why we built this product. And this product has shown such great improvement. So we did 2 benchmarks. We did two benchmarks. We did the Emily Star also. We're in the top 1% of all of them. But what we did for benchmarking is there are a couple of benchmarks which are available right now in the market, and we basically use Claude and GPT and GLM, all the models that they've created. But the thing that we did is that we opened up for it to read other PDF data that was introduced in those benchmarks. Just introducing that has increased performance for us. So the answer never lied in the numbers. The numbers only told you one side of the story. We were able to identify just adding more information, like how you would tell a person. What if you could tell your ecosystem and say, hey, we lost sales because of this point, or we increased in sales because we did marketing. So next month when you predict, you should not predict because we're not going to do a marketing campaign next week. So these are the kind of questions, or these are the kind of explanations people want to have, or people want to be able to talk to an ecosystem. And that's what our ecosystem does. So you can do demand forecasting. What is the projected demand for product X in region Y next quarter, considering current market trends and promotions? This data does not exist in one place. Our agent can look across the system, find the relevant data that has been created, and use that to create a demand forecasting that relates to that. Cost impact analysis, risk identification, inventory optimization. So you guessed it right, we are focused on retailers, we are focused on QSRs, we are focused on manufacturers. And these are the kind of questions they are asking. And before we say, oh, how many customers we have, so we launched our product a couple of months ago. We have about 18,000 users on our platform. They upload their data. It's a SaaS service. And then these are the 3 enterprise customers that we are working with right now using their real data. We work with Home Depot. We work with Jack in the Box. So Jack in the Box, we're working with them in predicting limited time offer items. How many should they produce? How many should they push to their individual stores? We're working with Craft Group. And then these are the companies that we have in our pipeline. All these companies, we go to them and we discuss one problem. It's a very boring question, but how many orange chickens will be sold today is a very important question for Panda Express. Did you know it sells 14 times more than any item on the menu? And they need to know production, or they need to know demand at an hourly rate manner. And if we can deliver them this information, without them having to have a data science team or without having to do any lift on their own, this is a huge ROI. And why am I a good fit for this? Well, and everyone heard of Walmart? Everyone knows Walmart? I helped build this supply chain system over there. So the biggest forecasting ecosystem that runs in US, we at the time when I left Walmart, we were predicting 1 billion units per day. And how did we get to 1 billion units? We have about 200,000 items in an individual store, and there are 5,000 stores. That's 1 billion daily data points. So I helped build that ecosystem. And then I went to work at Google. I also teach at Stanford. I also teach at UCLA. And my team has been working in building these similar ecosystems for a while. So what we understand is a user pain point. The user pain point is simple. We want to eradicate or reduce forecasting errors. It seems like a very novice problem, very simple problem to solve, but you're looking at a $1.7 trillion market. How much time is that? Just 5 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. So that's who we are. We have a product that is up and running. You can try out the product. There is a website. I shared the QR code. So this is me. Happy to take questions.
My question is, already we have demand forecasting. Now, on a supplier, he has a problem. How can you access the data side? Because it could be some physical thing that of his suppliers. How can you get that information?
So you literally can put an email also. They can send you an email and say, we have issues in our forecasting right now. We can save that as a data point. So you can save unstructured data as a data point. Or you could say, you can tell the agent that these sales that you see from this point to this point will happen because the supplier was not able to provide us in time. So the idea is that you can be reactive and proactive in that. So the next week when it predicts, it would understand that the supplier has fixed the problems. Right? So the demand forecast, and that's the biggest thing. Demand forecast is one of the oldest problems to solve. It's not still solved. We still have that problem because we never have the full story. We are trying to interject and sort of put human notes in so that it understands the context better.
Quick question. You showed a diagram earlier. It's more like a share of shelf if you go to Walmart or whatever. So how do you guys tackle? You also mentioned in one of your slides the biggest challenge is data silo. Right?
Yeah.
So what's that in your central agent knowledge repository that's connecting this silo data sets? I know you can connect to every heterogeneous database, but what's the thing that tells that business logic that connects these siloed
So we actually sort of have an interactive session. So let's say you connect your ERP, you connect your CRM, and it asks the human, what is it that you would like? What are you looking for? And it says, I found these 20 data sets or 20 different data points. How would you like me to utilize them? The idea is, in the first place, we never used to have them. Now we have them in our repo. So think of this as a fancy RAG, but it's now been converted into contextual understanding so that when you run something, it has connected all the data points together.
And what is your life cycle to ship to production?
So we are shipping, you can upload your data today, right now, and it will run. But for enterprise customers, we're taking about 60 days. In 60 days, we have a demo running for them. They're sending us their data now, and we can upload it, and it runs and shows all the results, but integrating with their endpoint, because we are deploying at their endpoint.
Yeah, but you also need
Great.
a business context for this thing.
Yeah.
I would love for you guys to continue discussing this outside.
Thank you.
You guys keep going. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you very much.